Yes, there we go. So, welcome everybody to this meeting. And yes, I can see well. To the special meeting of the Circle of Visionary Founders with an open circle today. We have a special guest, Rob Schalker. He will inspire us today with thinking out of the ball. So, thank you, Rob, for being here. I'm very curious what will happen and how we will be ignited to some more creativity at the end of the session. So wonderful to have you here. But
Thank
also,
you.
yes, and also we have some guest audience today. We have an open circle. So 2 or 3 times a year, we open up the circle and we invite guests from the outside. And we have some very nice people here. I know you all, so I'm fortunate, but I will introduce you as well. Because one of the goals of this circle is to connect with each other. And I invite you and encourage you to share, if you like, your LinkedIn profiles on the chat, if you are resonating with somebody and you can connect. So I will introduce you as well. Welcome to our circle members. Well, I want to start, if it's okay with you, to share a little bit about circles so that you know in what kind of space you have landed. And maybe you can utilize it even better than this session. And I'd like to share that I started the circle in 2022, when in the midst of Corona, actually. And I noticed that the entrepreneurial environment in the Netherlands was quite fixed or frozen, so to speak. And instead of going inside, I decided to go outside. So I went on LinkedIn searching for vision-driven people, purpose-driven people, impact makers, change makers, and just knocked on their doors. See who opened up. And one of our members, a few are not present today, but one always says, I don't know how you find me, but you found me just at the right moment. And I noticed that a lot with all this conversation. I think I had about 150 conversations back then, and they were beautiful. So I walked with many people on their path, just listening to the stories, just maybe having a few conversations, working with them a little bit. Some became clients. And after 150 conversations, I thought, what a treasure trove I have here with all those stories. What if, these people can meet each other? So I invited around 10 people back to, no, sorry. So I created a circle inviting 10 people back that I met in that year to say, okay, let's have a circle together and talk and share. And that's how it happened in 2023. So we're almost 3 years ahead now. And what we do in the circle is that we share on a deeper level, meaning we share our stories. Everybody took the stage once and told their whole life story, but we also practicing in, listening and reflecting. Actually, we're practicing compassion. And why is that? Because if we have compassion, it's a great antidote for conflict, conflict within, conflict maybe within relationships, but also in your business, in your leadership role, in your community, and so on. So we practice compassion and we connect people. So that's why, I'd like to ask you also maybe think about, if you want, and set an intention for this meeting so you can utilize this connection that we have today, the special place that we have. And the way we are talking is very diverse. So sometimes we dive into our generational inheritance, so to speak. Tokyo loves to do that. And also we speak about topics as our fathers, our mothers, our children, our businesses, challenges. We use trauma-informed methods. We use the hero's journey. We work with film clips. So, it's very organic. We do a lot, but I think at the end we have created sort of a business brother and sisterhood. Some people all met each other, the people that didn't know each other before and learned to get to know each other in the circle, even met. So Tokyo and Greg, who is not here today, met in the United States. And so it's a great environment to be in. I wanted to share that with you. And now I'd like to introduce you. And maybe you can wave your hands if I mention your name so people know who you are. And let me start with the circle members. So we have Fiona. And Fiona is an amazing yoga teacher, I can tell from experience. And also she is the owner of her Envisioned retreat in Madeira, being built, so to speak. So that's Fiona bringing us Zen and yoga in the group. There's Garrett. Hi, Garrett. I didn't see you yet. Hello, Garrett from Ecuador. Garrett is a serial entrepreneur. He's co-founder of the Whole Forest and working at carbon negative forestry, to say it like that. So he's really passionate about working on that. Then we have Daniel Hammond from Houston. I think Bob is maybe Rob is learning us today about possibilities that he sees, but maybe somebody else doesn't see. With Daniel, he asked the questions that nobody asked, right, Daniel? So he's a business interrogator and author of a book as well. And then we have Tokia from Woodstock, New York. Tokia is president of Symbio and very, very driven to work in the organic food supply chain, right? So not everybody could be present today, unfortunately, but these are the members of the circle today. Then our guests, well, we have Monique Wijnands, CEO, a friend of mine as well, CEO from 10 Days. And I saw on the website, 10 Days is also a clothing brand, just like Fish and Freds. And it's all about, you have the same energy, I suppose, in bringing clothes that make you confidence, feeling free, clothes that you can lead from. I think I saw that on the website. So it's all about comfortability, freedom, and it's a passion-driven brand as well. So welcome, Monique. We have Corné Termate. Corné, we go way back as well. And besides the fact that you are an amazing system thinker and a philosopher, in my opinion, we have another one coming in. You're also the owner of Net Beauty, which is a marketing salon for beauty salons, a marketing agency for beauty salons. Okay. Then we have Ragna Udiavar. I hope I say it right, Ragna. Ragna is just like Chapol, one of the founders. I recently from the Founders Institute. I'm mentoring them, and Ragna is doing wonderful things using books, bringing people together, if I can say it shortly like that. We have Chapol Magit. Hello, Chapol again. We saw each other this morning already. And Chapol is the founder of Mimosa, which is an amazing platform in bringing strength, resilience, and I think unlocking potential uniqueness of people. She's offering all kinds of education to people to unlock their unique potential. Put it like that. I have to put it like that. Mimosa, beautiful, beautiful initiative. There is Michiel. Hello, Michiel, also a friend of mine. And Michiel is the author of an amazing book, I can say, Trip, that he just wrote. He's writing another book. And he is also founder bringing optimizing lending flows, which I'm not exactly know what that means, but I think you're doing great at that. So that's the introduction. I invite you to share maybe your LinkedIn profiles in the chat. And if something resonates with you from this introduction, please find each other and connect. And then we go to Rob to give you the stage. Rob, shall I introduce you?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
I'm curious what you come up with.
Okay. Well, you are also a serial entrepreneur, right? The founder of a Fish and Fred, a clothing brand, and experience in retail, brand development, storytelling. I saw you were once in the top 3 of most inspiring leaders and speakers. And what I think is very interesting, and that's how I found you, I guess, and invited you, that you work with full circle concepts. So I think that's what we do here as well. You call it 360 fashion style life concepts. And I think I noticed you while you were working with people I know from a completely different branch. So like Smile, for example, is one example. But the other one, I think it's a nice anecdote, is that one of your shirts, you don't even know that, but one of your shirts was sold this Saturday in a little theater in our village here where I live, because Cesar Zuiderwijk, many people from Holland know him. He's the drummer of the Golden Earring. Radar a lot is a very famous song of them. He's a famous drummer. He's now raising money for the ALS disease. And he was playing in a little theater in Bakken. And at the end, he put the shirt that he had on from your brand, a Fishnet Fred, and he put it to auction, and it was sold for 400 euros for the ALS uh, institution. Or so thinking about full concepts, right? That's what I saw in you and what I learned from the work and what you do. And I thought, how amazing is that? So many different people, so many different flavors in the circle today. Please inspire us in making these cross connections. So that's my introduction of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think because you just mentioned this aspect about Caesar. Caesar has become a good friend of our brand, and especially a good friend of mine. He was here last Friday, actually, before he left for, I think it was not Buckham, it was, I think, something like Enkhuizen or something, something up north in the Netherlands. And he told me that, yeah, this ALS thing is something, obviously, that his fellow Golden Earring member, George, has died of like 3 months ago. And he has this the same T-shirt every time he is doing his theater show, and every time he is putting it to auction. And one time he gets 400, like you say, and could also be like 4,000. And it's just a T-shirt, but it's worn by him and it's signed by him. And it's we have a special one now. I'm trying to look it up in a minute, so you can have a look you can see what it looks like. And actually, you know, a lot of things that we do are not exactly born from an earning model, or let's put it this way: is not that we need to earn money on every aspect of our journey. This is something. Obviously, we need to earn money in terms of, okay, we have 30 people working here, and we have to give them a salary at the end of the month. So definitely we have an earning model in selling our garments and making collections. But apart from that, we always see that if we do stuff spontaneously, then the earning model could come afterwards, or maybe even not. But it's not something that drives us towards developing new things. And I think this is something that is different from what many other companies do.
Mm, yeah, it is. And what is driving you? Oh, by the way, before we're just going in now in a dialogue, it's a collective dialogue. Feel free to ask questions if you like. Everybody can just jump in and ignite the conversation. But my first question was to you: what is driving you? And also, we like, in the circle, to dive a little bit deeper. Maybe go back to, hey, Rob, who are you?
Yeah.
Maybe also a little bit about your youth or people that inspired you. So let's go from there and see where we go. And that could be a good first question, right? What was the inspiration in you? Maybe with your parents, or when you brought up your youth. What was your biggest inspiration that drives what you do today?
Oh, actually, I'm a slow starter when it comes to this entrepreneurial. By the way, I hate this word. I rather use anti-preneurial than entrepreneurial. But nevertheless, I was a slow starter. So actually, when I was 18 years old, I was really, really very much busy with making music, playing guitar. And my father once told me, like, "Hey, buddy, you cannot earn any money with playing guitar. Forget about that. That's I mean, something for the happy few." And yeah, so I realized that, and I still play guitar. But in the meantime, he kind of offered me to take over his company that was in sales promotion stuff. So we worked for Walt Disney Company, for Harley Davidson, for Heineken, for Philip Morris, etc., etc. And this is actually where I learned to create something about, or to make a little story about a product to make to raise the value of that product.
Mhm.
And that is something that has been a red line in all my life, actually. So when I was forced to take over this company, yeah, I was like, very blue, and I had no idea or that's not the right word, very blue, very, very, I had no idea where to start and where to end. And yeah, in the meantime, we're a lot of years onwards on the calendar. And but the idea to make a little bit more out of something by creating a little story around it, and to yeah, like in the first questionnaire that you gave me, I put it like, it's a turd with a ribbon around it. That's maybe translated in English. It sounds a little bit stupid, but it is what it is. Making something more attractive by putting a story and a nice packaging and some atmosphere around it differs us from a lot of other companies. If you take the generic um, item, clothing, like a shirt or a t-shirt or a polo, you can buy it anywhere. I mean, you can buy it at a garden center, you can buy it at a gas station, you can buy it at a supermarket, you can buy, virtually clothing you can buy anywhere. So if you want to make a difference, you better tell a story around it and make it more interesting in order to survive. It's a long
Right.
answer for a short question. Sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. You share a lot of information. For me, two questions came up. Like, okay, it's in psychology you call this gestalt, right? One and one is three. That's what you're doing. You're making more of something, creating a story around it.
Mm.
Uh, and actually, because I know I sent some questions prior to this circle to you, like I always do. And
Mhm.
you shared a little story about your father there that was so resourceful and positive. And I think it's interesting if you can bring that along in the conversation, like what kind of man was he? And later on, you just mentioned when I was forced to take over the company. So that
Mm.
resonated with me as well. Like you were forced. Can you share a little bit about that? But maybe start with him. What was so resourceful and positive around your father?
So he was very inventive. So, like, he one funny example is he bought sugar bowls, 600 silver sugar bowls, and we thought, who on earth would need so many sugar bowls? And then he also bought 600 big spoons, and he sold them as soup bowls. And
Mm.
it was yeah, a very simple way to make to multiply by six what other people saw as one. So
Right,
this is an example that reflects his inventive mind. And this is
right,
what I kind of inherited. And what I said, by forced to, I mean, I didn't have anything else to do. My study was kind of floating, and I was thinking like, okay, what do I like? And then I found out that creating stuff is what I liked. And this is still, till the day I'm turning 60 this year, and started with when I was 18, and of course with a lot of fuck ups. It's not that everything is going well, but if you learn and you stand up again, we do a lot of things by ourselves here. We don't have any advertising agents. We are kind of an advertising agent, but only for ourselves in order to create stuff and learn from that. If we make mistakes, we do it again, and then that's much better than paying someone to make mistakes and learn nothing.
right, right. Interesting. So you're doing this since you're 18, but you don't like the word entrepreneur, what you said. Why do
No,
you?
not really, because I've kind of Richard Branson like feeling to come with that, and I don't want to compare myself to people like that. I mean,
You have a Richard Branson kind of feeling
around this word
around this word,
entrepreneur.
really?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I think is an entrepreneur.
right.
By the way, I was on on a boat trip with two guys that work for Virgin, and one of them was the like the guy that is trying out many new things, and he was also the guy that had to break the limitless ideas of Richard, in order to let him, um, realize that not everything that he had in mind was going to be a success, and sometimes you better, beforehand, push the brake, then go on and on and on. I mean, like Virgin Cola was a big failure, but
Mm,
they still did it. There was Virgin Trains, also limited success. So not everything that he did was a big success. And this guy, it was really interesting to hear the insights of one guy was doing the music business, and the other one was he had a really good, nice job into trying everything out and finding out if it made sense, other than what we do, to make a earning model out of everything. Obviously, if you own a company called Virgin, then you have a very different perspective, and you have a lot more people to be responsible for, to give a salary to at the end of the month. So it's a different perspective. But yeah, that's a little sideline. Sorry about
don't worry.
going maybe a little bit
No,
too far
I
over
think
the
that
edge.
I think that was for me, Rob, because that's my dream job
Yeah.
is breaking ideas and helping to reforge them into something stronger. So I haven't met very many people like that, but I had somebody call that being a bounce head. Give me crazy ideas and tell me what works. So it was important to me and meaningful to me, Rob. So thank you so much for sharing. And if you still know that guy, I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I met him last year in Turkey on a sailing boat. Really cool. And then I met him afterwards when I was at our new store in Brent Cross shopping mall in London, and we met again. So we had a little lunch, and we spoke a couple of months ago again because he was planning to go on another boat trip when I just came back. So I'm still in contact, and he's really a cool guy, and I can give you his details. He's really open for anything when it comes to new stuff. At the moment, he is very busy with setting up and buying music collections. So, like, he was interested in the music collection in the catalog of Golden Earring, the band I just mentioned. But this was not a very easy piece one, because the owner of the musical rights, he just died when we wanted to to set course on making it happen. But anyway, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I like what's happening here because I know Daniel very well. We've met also in Houston, and he told me he's a business interrogator, and
Yeah.
you want to meet that guy, but you are also that guy, Daniel, cracking ID, bouncing against them, um, challenging the status quo, maybe. So that's interesting because that's something what you shared about your father just now, and what you're also doing as the founder of a fish named Fred, right? You are also constantly creating connections that others maybe don't. So
Mhm.
um, let's go back one step because I think, well, for Monique is also interesting this. You create a platform, especially for men, right? To give them a stage or to shine in who they are. What's that? Where does that come from?
Yeah, we try to make the world a little bit more cheerful and colorful. And by doing this, we have undeliberately created a bunch of Fred fans, or real Freddies, as we call them. And some of them are crazy enough even to open a complete Fred store. That just happened in Haarlem like a couple of months ago. And another one, he was here this morning by coincidence. costing me another hour. And this guy is taking over our store in Maastricht, which is in the south of the Netherlands. So we have Fred fans that are, yeah, like I said, crazy enough to open a full store. Obviously, not everyone is in the positions to do something like that, but we found out that this fan base is they want to know everything about our brand. They want to do everything for our brand, and it's really amazing to see that if we have organized a client panel day like a couple of months ago, and there we selected like 30 people that we asked a lot of questions about our brand, because these people, they buy between 5,000 and 15,000 euro of Fred clothes each year. So they are more than just an average customer. And we asked them a lot of stuff, and we selected like 30 of them to come to our office and to entertain them for a whole day, and also to ask them more and more questions. And that was really funny to see, because I was thinking it was an initiative of our marketing and styling team. And I thought, okay, how are we going to keep these guys busy for a full day? And we started at 10 o'clock and it lasted till 3 o'clock. And I tell you, the first ones were already knocking on the door at 9:15. And the last, or actually almost everyone, only left at 7 o'clock at night. So we sure kept them busy, and they kept us busy, and they gave us a lot of information. So
But
I
what is the
can,
magic, Rob? What is the magic? How do you create those fans? How do you touch their
by
hearts, to speak,
by
them a
yeah,
stage? What do you do?
yeah, but we try to drag them along in our boat, in order to tell them what our ideas are, and to make them a part of the story, actually.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you like, you just mentioned Caesar, and
Yeah.
Caesar is, let me think, I think Caesar is 77 years old already.
Hmm.
He's very old guy, but he's very, very active, and he could be, or he is a real threat. But we also have guys of 22, 23 years old that we dress, that are also fans of ours, which is very remarkable, that yeah, that we have this connection to people from many ages. And one particular thing was, I had a scholarship student by the name of Joost, and he was working in our company, I think, like maybe 10 years ago or so. We just started off, because we're now busy for about 14 years. And one of the first things that he wanted to check and to find out is, who is Fred, or who is the consumer of Fred. And he found out that this target group is not necessarily um, defined by age, but it's more a sociographic target group than a demographic target group,
Right, it's a kind of
because it's
archetype, I suppose. It's a kind of
sorry,
archetype, right? It's kind of archetype, like Caesar as well, that resonates with what
right?
you're doing. And I love what you say. Like, it's not only about money, it's more.
No,
I think the story of
definitely not.
Caesar is beautiful. That's so passion driven, but also very important in what he's doing. Traveling, as a storyteller, and then using all these values around him, because you can also play on his drum, for example, or you can go on the picture. He is making the shirt for auction, putting the shirt to auction. So that's very, I think, authentic, sincere, for a great.
Mhm.
So that might be the magical ingredient, I
Yeah.
suppose.
I'm trying to capture. I'm trying to put my head around all of this.
Right.
May I? You were a musician. Your father said what all fathers say to their philosophical sons, whatever. You're not going to make a living. You got to be practical. Come work for me. You went to work for him. It was killing your soul. You had to make a story around it in order to give it life for you and meaning for you. that survival technique, correct me if I'm wrong here, that survival technique captured something in you about a storyteller that you could take a Philip Morris or a Harley Davidson contract and make it meaningful for you, and then it also became meaningful for others. And Barbara has been trying to get, what is your brand story that is attracting all of these different people to pay $5,000 to $15,000 a year on? And you did surveys on what does it mean for them. There's some nugget of the story that seems to be one that others can contribute to or take part in. It's hard to hold. It's not firm and solid. It's more, I think of Barbara was talking archetype, something in there that is fitting
Right.
to a larger community in a magical way that's way past money, right? And way past status symbol. You've unleashed the ability for a brand to, it reminds me of Catholicism, right? In the Catholic concept, it's many different cultures could adapt to a story. There's some basic structure that starts to
Yeah.
piece in together and grow. And that's fascinating, whatever that is, but it's deep in you, in your survival story, and being able to be creative and practical at the same time. I mean, that's what I'm capturing in this little story.
Yeah,
Big
that's
story.
exactly right. Yeah, like I said, trying to make the world a little bit more humorous and a little bit more colorful. Um, we do a lot of things that have nothing to do with what a everyday fashion brand is doing. We're doing so much more. I can share a couple of slides in order to make you make you a witness of what goes on in my mind, if you like, and then maybe it gets even a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
Is that a good
I would
idea?
love to see an MRI on your brain while you process the storytelling. Yes, that's what we'd like to see.
Oh yeah, that would be. I'm not sure if that's so interesting, but I mean, for me, it's just I'm just me, and I talk to everyone, and a little story that comes up is not really a story, but it's something that maybe reflects the fact that we are not in it for the money in every aspect of what we do. Is last week on Wednesday, no, last Saturday, so last week Saturday, I got a message on LinkedIn from a lady, and she said, "Listen, my name is Jeanne Ling. You don't know me, but my husband is a big fan of yours, and he would really, really, really like to meet you. And he is really a big fan for years of your brand, and he is particularly interested in the setup that you have made to create a shirt for the Make-A-Wish Foundation that you may have heard of." And she said, "The fact that I'm asking you now is that he is suffering from ALS, and the shirt is coming out in January, and I don't know if he is then still alive or even able to look at the shirt or wear it." And these kind of questions I don't get every day, I tell you. But I thought, yeah, what am I doing? I was going last Wednesday. I was going to the Dutch Design Week in Eindhoven anyway, and they live at one of the little villages next to Eindhoven. So I decided to go there with the shirt and a full goodie bag and goods and wine and beer and whatever. And so I gave it to the guy, and they, I mean, when the lady opened the door of their house, she was really crying, and this guy was also crying because it was a big surprise for him, because she didn't tell him in advance. She just first wanted to wait until I was really there, and then she told him, and he was like, I spent like an hour there. Of course, it's not bringing anything in terms of money, but I also, because this guy said, yeah, you have to put this on LinkedIn. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to show myself as like, Mr. Good Guy. But it's something that costs some energy, but make people really happy that apparently are big fans of ours. And it's something that is also part of life to yeah, maybe help people with something small. And now the funny thing, you just told about Caesar. So Caesar was here, and we made a little clip for this guy that he can get this specific T-shirt when he comes to one of the shows, and obviously he will be visiting Eindhoven surroundings somewhere in January, February, and we don't know what the situation of this guy will be. So we figured out they have to come our way because he is playing in Boskoop, which is in the middle of the Netherlands, or a little bit more here in the area where we are. And he's welcome in I think 2 weeks, and he gets a special treatment from Caesar. And this is something that is not, bringing any money, but it's cool to do things that are maybe a little bit out of the ordinary and that are not really very much in the earning model, but still are nice to do.
Compassion, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And can anybody come up with other example that this represents to me? It's like a brand or a T-shirt or an article of clothing or anything that has meaning that grows, and then the more it grows, Caesar is representing it to a certain audience, and it imbues the brand with the meaning that Caesar put in, how his story around it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then his audience then has a connection to that item. Is there any example of this? I mean, the brands are ubiquitous in our world, right? And what brand?
You want to respond? Yeah, you're on mute.
No, I'm.
I think Michiel, he wants to say something, but you're still on mute. Unmute. Can you?
I don't see
Now
Michiel
you're
actually.
your mic is on. Yes.
Well, so I think there's many clothes brands, of course, who have ambassadors.
Sure.
I think it's quite common, and I think these days, especially with internet and social media, it is quite common to be more part of like a global community of like-minded people than to be part of a generation or part of a nation. I think there's these global styles that bridge many age groups and
Well, I think of Nike or Coca-Cola, or let's just take Nike for example. But the inspiration of the different brand ambassadors going to a soccer or a football, excuse me, or a track and field event. There's a core story.
Yeah.
That is represented by the different brand ambassadors. What I'm hearing from Rob's sounds a little different. It sounds like maybe there's a bit more new ownership of the story than what Rob's company dictates to the marketing team to hire and pay the ambassadors to carry that message forward into different communities, right? That's where I'm feeling there's a difference.
Yeah, we have
And I
never
think it's
paid any
remarkable.
ambassador, by the way. Never.
Yeah.
And that's another
Well, that's
example,
a
right?
big
It's not command and control like Nike's. My sister does advertising for those same companies, and there's a story for Anheuser Busch or whatever, or the whatever. And so there's a thing that they do that they have to try to capture that is got to be passed on to the core, the CEO. And there's here I'm seeing something a little bit more organic, a little bit different, and also not the same goal. There's to sell Nike shoes. Rob's goal seems to be disconnected from that as well.
Sure.
Anyway,
No, and I
so I'm
think
just
there's
being,
also examples of that. For example, Koichu, the brands, they are much more about environment than average. They don't do sale because they don't believe in fast fashion. So I think those are also out there, and
yeah.
I think that's a way more lasting brand identity than lend something from a soccer player that you pay 240 million per year. Sure,
Right.
listening.
It's authentic, right? All
Yeah,
the that Cesar's touching and all those shows he's doing all around Holland, that is something authentic, straight to the heart, I suppose. That's different than that's fabricated or driven by a huge budget. So that's it's for real, I suppose. What do you want to share, Rob, in your slides to bring us
Oh,
along the journey, thinking out of the bowl?
yeah, let me see if I can share some stuff. Screen, let me see where we go.
Is there a Dutch expression, thinking out of the bowl?
Yeah, no, that's not a Dutch expression. That's one that I made up. Can you see my
Okay.
my keynote here?
Yeah, we can see your pictures.
Yeah, we see a lot of pictures.
Oh, right. Okay. You see a guy with a blue shirt here?
Oh,
A very handsome guy with a blue
Very
shirt.
handsome.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I skipped that one then.
Right.
Here you can see who Fred is, right?
Right.
It's not difficult. This is the same. You can see who Fred is. A little bit different than the rest.
Right.
Same here, right? And the same here. This is not corporate pictures, but this is something that I looked up quickly in order to show you a little bit like, okay, how different are we? Another thing that's different is that, the one that came up with the name when she was 10 years old is my daughter Isabel. Isabel came up with Freddy Fish, which I couldn't register because there was a computer game. But I was thinking like, hey, a fish called Fred, maybe that's something. And then I thought, no, I don't want to end up in trouble with Warner Brothers about a fish called Wanda. And this is how I ended up with a fish named Fred. And of course, I registered the domain name a fish called Fred because obviously there's like more than 500 people a day that mispronounce it and then still come to our website. But this is how we started. We will never ever like Koichi tell people that we are a sustainable brand that is very colorful and very outspoken and very humorous. We'll never say that because we think sustainability is something that you have to adapt to in all that you do already. Without saying it. So if people want to find out about this, they can look it up on our website, but it's not something that we will deliberately show or tell, because if you really want to be very sustainable, then you have to quit your business tomorrow. That's really sustainable. Because the clothing industry is one of the most polluting on the world. No matter what name you have, it is what it is, and so this is one of the things. So here you can see a couple of pictures of our more formal way of working with collection. It can even be a little bit more formal. That's this. This is the wedding season, as we call it, but we can also go like summer vibes. This is more festival theme. I'm just running through a lot of pictures quickly, just to give you an idea. This is our next summer collection by the name Fred's Art Gallery. So it has everything to do with art and artists and stuff like that. So this is the winter. This is the current winter. So what you just saw was our next summer, and this is our current winter. It's called Exploring the Highlands. So we make a new collection. We make a new brand every half a year with a new theme. So the underlying theme is of course a fish named Fred. That's the brand name, and then we make something of every collection every time. So here you see we have our own whiskey here. We have many nice extra aspects to making the collection interesting. So these are the inner linings of jackets and blazers. Why have just a blue or a red inner lining when you can also make a really cool picture on the inside? I mean, these little things make it interesting for Fred fans to buy our brand rather than something else. Um, Here you see, I'm not sure if this clip is working for you, but here you see a little presentation of all the little elements that make it interesting to buy our brand, because we have a lot of details, and all the details combined make the difference in DNA. Here you go.
Mm.
So these elements are actually characteristic to shirts and blazers. And this, for instance, is our fish hook that is on every blazer. So if you look at for instance, the Dutch television, and you see a newsreader or the weather guy or a presenter, and they are wearing a blazer, you know, a blazer is always difficult to identify, but ours is not, because we always have this little fish hook on the on the on the on the side. These are the prints that we make. We have hundreds, or let's say we have a back catalog of around 1,200 different prints. We make all the prints in-house, and all the prints have a little hidden fish as a logo inside the print. We do that for three purposes. One is corporate identity. The second is the fact that people are calling us or send us messages because they cannot find the little fish, and we have to help them out to find the fish. And the third reason is a legal reason, because it's really hard to register every print because it takes a long time. And so we have a little hidden fish, and this resulted a few times already in one of our competitors copying us and then copying our logo along. And then as a lawyer, you don't have a big job to convince the other party that they're wrong, and they will suffer a little bit. But anyway, that's one of the aspects that make our brand a little bit more different and interesting. So these are the different product groups. This is our web shop packaging. So this has this claim on it, fresh fish inside, which sometimes results in the fact that we get a message of a guy who said, "Hey man, I received a frozen shirt yesterday because I wasn't at home, and my neighbor she took it and she put it in the freezer because there's fresh fish inside on it." And these little things are part of the story, obviously. These are some of the corners that we have. This is the brand store in London. This is the brand store in the Westfield Mall. Here you can see we have huge screens, huge LED screens. These are some of the showrooms that we occupy in different areas. Oh, sorry, that was too quick. These are some of the retailers that we deliver to worldwide. This is our trade show schedule. Here you can see it visually, where you can see the collection that we present every half a year to many, many retailers. So that's like 1,800 retailers throughout the world, with 35 showrooms and 41 places if you add all the trade fairs up to that. And then here you can see this was our mascot, our Fredfish. This is our warehouse on the airport. So you get a little bit more impression of what we do. Here you see us at the Tokyo Fashion Week. Really interesting, really nice. Here you see that Fred is sometimes a little bit less recognizable. Maybe you found him already. He's there left center. And here's one of the clips that we make. So as far as I know, we are the only brand that is offering these clips with the use of the logo of our multi-brand retail client inside the clip. So it's a lot of work, but it pays off, and nobody else
Mm.
does it. This is our Fred Fest, Fred Park. It's a big party for 400 people that are around us, and we do an auction for the good cause, raising money for Make-A-Wish Foundation. And here are some jokes that we have been doing, like the Fred of the Year award, Prinsjesdag instead of Prince Day. That was our former prince, our current king. And we have one day where the government is representing its plans for the whole year, and they call it Prins Day, Prinsjesdag. And we have transferred it into Prinsjesdag, so like Prince Day instead of Prince Day. And there's a stack of fish sticks for International Animals Day, and these kind of things we have been doing. These are some international series that we are represented in with our garments, and these are some of the Dutch celebrities that we regularly dress, varying from musicians to TV presenters to newsreaders to stand-up comedians, lots of everything.
Mm.
This is our Fred Talk. So there's the TED Talk, we have the Fred Talk. All smiling people. Of course, the interview is not necessarily about their clothing, but what keeps them busy. And yeah, most of the time they're starting to talk about what attracts them in our brand, a fish named Fred.
Mm.
And these are
Yeah.
some of the this is the very outspoken hangers for our clothing, our packaging. This is our collaboration with Limoncello brand. Here you can see how the print of this brand is turning around through the collection. Here you can see our Delft blue. This is a tribute to my grandma who was born in Delft, lovely city of Delft. This is our print that we have made together with a tattoo artist. Here you can see our fish, our tin can fish, tuna and sardines. You can see the toothbrushes that is still under construction. This is our beer and our wine. This is our wine shirt with wine stains on it. This is our recently launched iced coffee. This is just a licensed product. So this company is paying us a royalty for the use of our prints on their products. Very simple. This is the same way with Happy Bed. This is a bed cover that consists out of one piece. So you can put it as one piece. You can put it in a washing machine without, the struggle of putting your bed cover around your bed. I don't know how to put it in English, but you understand what I mean. It's one piece,
Mhm.
and it's being launched in January, so this is still coming up. This is our whiskey. These are our socks. If you can read this, bring me a beer.
Mhm.
This is one of our beers that brought me to the idea. When the label was lying flat on the table, I thought, or someone passed by and he said, "Hey, are we going to do carpets?" And I was thinking during the weekend, why not carpets? So we made carpets. Um, and these are some collaborations with shoe brands, sock brands, our wallpaper, our ski helmets. This is the action we did with adding markers for Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we invited 30 celebrities to tell their story about what their connection is to a fish named Fred and the good cause Make-A-Wish. These are our glasses, our Apple Watch backgrounds, our underwear, tableware, Fisherman's Fred. Maybe you've heard of it. Uh, of course, it's Fisherman's Friend, but we were asked to make a packaging for the supermarkets. It's not done yet, but difficult company, takes a long time. But nice to show. This is our oldest Fred. This is Hans Dover, the father of Candy Dover, that played with Prince for 10 years. And he is the oldest Fred that is famous for us. He's 85 years old, a very funky grandpa. These are some models of Temptation Island to also have some young guys. And this is what we did on the beach. So we had a nice idea on a Wednesday. We carried it out on a Friday. So we we scribbled our logo on the beach. So this is me a couple of kilos ago. The second one. So with 6 people, we made our logo in
Wow.
Beautiful.
and our own music underneath. It's all part of the story, And of course, when we went for the lunch after this, after 2.5 hours, it was gone. But we still have the drone clip, which is
Mm.
I think pretty cool.
Mm.
So that's more
Mm.
or less, what I can show you about who we are and what we do.
I saw
I
I
don't know.
saw your logo on the Hudson Bay Company. I'm right next to the Hudson River, and
Oh
so
yeah.
do they pay you royalty?
No, it's a
Yeah.
sad, it's a really sad story, to be honest. Let me see. How do I get out of
You're out.
You're out.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
But I cannot see you somehow. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. I don't know. Let me see. Oh yeah,
Like,
there you guys. Click exit to full screen. Yeah. Now I can see you again. I didn't see you. Ah, yeah. Hudson's Bay is a sad story. I mean, our license partner in Toronto, it was their biggest client, and they did a lot of private label business for them. And they sold a fish named Fred in 24 stores. And they went bankrupt in the beginning of this year, which resulted in a loss of around 8,000 blazers, 6,000 shirts, and 4,000 waistcoats, and a lot of other stuff for each season for us and for them, which is of course hurting us. Yeah, that's really sad because the name has been bought by a Canadian tire company who runs garden centers, and property is bought by a Chinese lady from Vancouver that doesn't even speak English. So the whole heritage, this company is, I think, from 1651 or so. Is the oldest. It's, I think, number 2 on the registry of companies in Canada, and they just vanished. They're
I
gone.
can't believe
So
it.
so it's really sad.
All right, that was a sidetrack, everybody. That was,
Yeah, but it
but
was
it.
Hudson's Bay. But it's still nice to show that we fucked up their logo and they didn't like it. So
No,
they
right.
send us they didn't send us inquiry for license. They actually send us a letter from their lawyer. But we changed it. My motto in life is most of the time, like, it's better to ask for permission, or it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
I heard of that.
Mm.
That the story that you showed, was there how that original story gets told and told and told again, and how many times it can be told, from shoes to carpets. It seems to be constantly reinventing, and there's no limit, in a sense,
No,
It's infinite,
no.
and
huh?
that's what's fascinating about this whole thing. Yeah, it's really, there's something that the way that it preserves an essence that spreads, and it's cheerful. I mean, to put on a jacket with the lining being something maybe nobody's going to see, but you feel it all day long.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can show off. You can put your
You
if
can
you're
you can
in
flash
a funny
people if you
mood,
want to.
you
Yeah.
can wear it inside out if you like.
Hey, Rob, you are so
Yes.
creative, and you just showed that to us, and I was very interested in the cross connections, and I hope everybody, in the crowd here can maybe, yeah, how do you say that? Replicate that to their own businesses. How can I be creative, go cross brands? But now a question comes up to me, because what we all have in common in this crowd is that we are working somehow on a reason to exist. I was speaking with that to Chapol this morning about that. She's doing it in a total different way, but it's all about existence. So I was thinking now, Rob, you have shown us all these commercial areas. What could you do with your creativity and energy? And maybe please add up if you want in the group here. What could you do, for example, for social enterprises, that do something in the market, making a change? how can those worlds connect? What comes up?
Oh, well, like I said, we already have been working, we're still working with Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is a social enterprise, in my opinion. And the other one is the ALS Foundation that we also contribute to. Yeah, that's not limited to one collection. That's actually connected to our Fred Park party. It's connected to actions that we have from day to day. That also comes back in the stores, like the shirt that I've been telling you about is something really different and really cool and outspoken, and we deliver it together with 5 adding markers, so you can basically color your own shirt, which is how cool is that?
Hmm. Yeah.
Is that what you meant by asking me this?
And well, the crowd here, there are a lot of people also working in a whole different playing field, so to speak. So
Yeah.
while listening to you and thinking about everybody sitting in here and knowing their ambitions and aspirations, I was thinking, how can you, how do you say that, strengthen each other? For example, well, Chapel, now she's gone because I wanted to invite her to share a little bit about what she's doing. But yeah, maybe you have ideas from the group, Daniel.
Yeah.
How can we cross those different sectors? I know what you mean, with making a wish, and I know what you mean about that. But I'm talking more like social enterprises making money as well, having very vital, very promising business models, but making a huge impact at the same time. But okay, Daniel, respond.
Yeah, just a couple of ideas, Barbara. One, Rob, really very impressed with, you've created a fun brand that other brands want to be part of. I really love that collaboration through organizations. I switched my logo to my customer-driven leadership logo because I'm right now, I have a business system that's not selling, if I'm being completely candid there. But I've got a Catholic entrepreneur group in Mexico that's interested in it, and I have somebody else that is a coach that wants to take it to more Gen Z millennial founders, and flip it on its head. Instead of focusing on the metrics that it creates, they want to, it also creates amazing culture. So rather than sell it for, hey, this can make your business 10x more profitable, it's, hey, this will build the culture that we are all looking for. And
Right.
I think that's what you've created, Rob. And just really grateful that I got to learn about what you're doing. And of course, I'm huge into most of my philanthropy is from my faith, but really giving back to the world and helping make the world a better place is super important in everything I do.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I can, if you like, I can share something that is really is not new, but it's not something that I have told people about yet, because it's so new that it's actually our upcoming autumn winter collection that we still have to sell. But maybe it's nice to take you with me into the story and how I get to to think how to start things. And this one is really funny because we have this collection coming up. Like I told you, we have a theme for every collection. It can be a skiing theme, and it can be I don't know, a rock and roll theme. It can be whatever theme. For every half a year, we reinvent ourselves, and we come up with a brand new brand, actually, you could say. And this one is coming from actually when I was 14 years old. I moved to another place. I got some new friends, and they were very much into rock and roll and heavy metal music. Back then, it was not called heavy metal, but it was like Iron Maiden and Kiss and some other bands. And one of these other bands was the Scorpions. Have you heard of Scorpions? You all
Yep.
know them
Mhm.
from Wind of Change and
Seen him in
uh,
concert, Rob.
you've seen him? Okay, I've seen him many times in the meantime.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, and I'm going to share my screen again. If you like, if you like, if you don't, I will just continue with something else. But I'm going to get. I just brought it this morning from my house, not for this meeting, but I had some people that asked me about it. And when I was 14, I bought this album, and the album is called. I have it here, and it's called Tokyo Takes. Is this one? And it's an album of that was obviously recorded in Tokyo when nobody was going to Japan to play, and it was I think it is in 19 because this is it's 1978 actually. Yeah, yeah. Mm, Let me think. Yeah, I was 14, so that was 1979. But it came out in 1978, and I bought it from my pocket money, and it's a really cool album. And the funny thing is, um, yeah, this brought me to the idea. This is called Tokyo Tapes, and I decided to go for a new collection called Tokyo Trip. And the funny thing is that I didn't think for a long time about this collection. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm not sure. Share entire screen. You have to help me again because I'm used to Zoom.
Mhm.
What do you see here? Do you see my
Yeah,
screen again?
prints. So
You
you
see
have,
a lot of prints, eh?
yeah, I think you have to share the tab instead of the window or the other way around.
Let me see. Switch screen like this? No.
No. So you end it again, you stop
Yeah.
sharing, and then you share, I suppose, the tab that you want to share, not the window, but the tab.
Let me see. Oh shit. Sorry guys. I'm really not I'm into Zoom and not very much into this. Let me try it again. Share window or share screen? What do you want?
Depending on what you just did. I think try window.
Oh, I just shared screen again. Shit. It's going wrong.
So you can end it again or
I will end it again.
try window, and otherwise you can tell us.
Yeah, but it's nice to show stuff
Okay.
rather than only. Let me see again. Where are you? Okay. Then now I'm going to share. What was it? Share window. It was, eh?
Right.
That window.
Right. Okay. Now you can see the.
No.
Still
Then
not
it's share tab.
share tab. Ugh. Add windows.
You're not the only one who struggles with this every time.
So you can stop presenting again.
Stop
And then
sharing.
tab.
I think there it was, but
I did practice it before, but it's always a problem. I have the same share tab.
share.
We have some IT guys here, they
So what
know.
do I share?
If you
Allow it to
you know
share
what to
window,
do.
window or screen. What do you want?
If
Renee,
you
say
pick
something.
window, you have to select which one, Rob.
So if you took
Oh.
screen, everything you navigate to will be
Got it.
broadcast to us.
I got it now. I think I got it right.
Now we see it. Yes.
Now you see it. Okay.
Your
So I'm going.
prints.
I'm going here. Yeah, I'm going here. So I was invited a couple of years ago to go to the studio of these guys, the Scorpions, in Hanover, and here I present the beer, and here he is signing my record actually. How cool is that?
Very
cool.
nice.
And
Yeah.
this is how I got to, to come up with this collection. This is Rudolf Schenker. They're like 72 years old, 74, 75, 76. And yeah, that actually gave me the idea to come up with this collection. And if I just show you Here, this is Tokyo trip. Here you see the whole Japanese idea. These are two different prints. This is one print in two colorways, and this is our manga, our anime manga cartoon. These are all the houses. These are the different elements. These are three different prints with the koi carp, and here you see the wave with the Mount Fuji in the back, and here's some other things. And this is what we have made as a collab out of this. So you see that we will deliver, cups and plates and chopsticks, all with our, our DNA mixed with the whole packaging. So this is something that comes from, and obviously this has nothing to do with it, but obviously it's something that it's coming from the initial idea to do something different and to make people a part of our story. And I'm not sure if we will come up, in terms of letting the consumer know of my album. But it's sure different. And how cool is it to deliver something like this apart from your garments? How cool is that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Daniel,
amazing.
does his story
Yeah, that's
answer your
amazing.
question?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Like
What?
we're making the connection between Daniel's question and your answer.
Right. Yeah. Chopsticks. And we're going to make these with our prints on it.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Made in Japan, so not it's not China stuff. It's really made in Japan.
But Rob, let me ask you, and I'm sure maybe other people have the question too. So you are such a creator, and I love how you touch the hearts of people, also based from your own excitement as a young child buying this album, for example, constantly translating. That's what you do. And you're
Yeah.
great at it. And I can imagine that people think, okay, you got me ignited too in thinking out of the wall. For sure that happens. So, but you also shared a slide about sustainability, for example. And that what comes up for me too, like creating so many things. How do you work sustainably in that case? How does that work?
How does it work? We have a styling department, and we have one person that is always busy with this aspect. Some of these assets come because we demand them from our factories, and some of the aspects they come up because it's just government rules that are, you don't have to apply to yet, but it's coming anyway. So it makes no sense to run away from that. So I just showed you like 4 different trademarks of sustainability, but I think we have 6 or 8 or something like 8 or 9 of these elements that are connected to water waste, of course, taking care of your people the right way, recycling materials, in many different aspects.
Yeah,
And
I was
we don't
thinking
want
about
to put like 8 different labels on our garments, but if you look it up on our website, you can
okay.
find most of these things back.
I was thinking about Esther Smith. I don't know if you know her. She was the businesswoman of the year 2024. Also working in a clothing brand, and she is only using used material.
Oh yeah.
Wedding collections, for example. That's a very interesting woman, and she's also in her factory. People that come from difficult circumstances work there.
Cool.
As tailors,
Yeah.
for example.
Very nice.
Also
Yeah.
interesting for Chapeau again. Chapeau, I hope you notice the cross connections here, because Chapeau is educating these people. So that's what
Cool.
I like. Also the full circle concept in
Yeah.
these different organizations working together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
fantasizing about.
Right. Yeah. What we find out many times when we speak to Fred fans, we see that they are, they don't want to throw anything away, they, even if there's a hole inside, they keep it because it's kind of a collector's edition. And that's another way of treating the whole waste problem, is never to throw something away, and keep it for years and years and years. Because we have people that, when we started in 2011, I got a message from a friend of mine who is a singer, Sonny Hoogwer from Sonny's Inc. Really cool band that made all our first music. By the way, we still have some CDs lying around from that time. And he was wearing a jacket from 2011. Can you imagine? That's really long ago. It's like 14 years old that he has been saving this jacket. And there's many people that just don't throw away their stuff. They just save it, or they have a special closet for it. I don't know. But yeah, that's another way of treating your garments right.
It's value, right? It's
right,
value.
right.
Yeah. And you can revalue it again. So that's beautiful. So
Yeah,
are there
we
any
tried it.
questions? I'm sorry.
We
I want to
tried
give
out.
you we have some
We
10
tried
minutes
out
now.
recycling. Sorry.
Oh, we're crossing each other. Now I want to give the crowd some time to ask questions if they have, or because we have 10 minutes left or so.
Right.
But are there any questions, people, or you want to bring up an idea that you got in this session, how you can utilize it? Don't be shy.
Cornelia, I haven't heard you yet. Tell us something.
Hi. Yeah, no, I don't have any questions at the moment.
What
No
comes up
questions yet.
for you, Corné, if you listen to the story? Because I know what kind of creative thinker you are. So what do you get out of this session?
Well, some memories as well. When I was, well, actually, I from age 13, I used to work a lot, like next to school, like side jobs. Well, long story short, I worked a lot, and age 17, I got a burnout. So I had to stop school, spend a lot of time at home, no energy to do anything. And actually, what I started to do at that moment, I could only be on the computer for like 6 months. I started to design T-shirts. So this was in the time of Hives, Dutch social network. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, and it was also, the designs were like focused on specific audience. They were like cute designs, also a bit like Japanese style. So yeah, in no time, like in 1 week, had like 8,000 followers. So in Holland, that's a lot at that moment. In the US, maybe not. So I started selling those shirts. I got memories of that time. Yeah, and at this moment in my business, yeah, I'm looking like what to do next. Like the things I wanted to reach, I kind of reached them. So I'm like kind of a bit in a gap. So it makes me think like, yeah, maybe it would be nice to do something like that again.
Cool. Yeah, sure, do it.
Yeah, because
So
you're
that's what was going on in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, you're such a creative guy, I know. So that would be amazing. I think that what Rob's sharing with me too is like a paid hobby. Hey, Rob? You don't know
Yeah,
how
that's what I always say.
about that. That's what you said too. But for you, it's a paid hobby, doing what you love. I think everybody can resonate with that in this group. But yeah, that's inspiring. I
Right.
hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Corné. Is anyone else has a question or wants to share? Garrett, hello.
Well, hello, Barbara. Thank you for putting together the call today. Rob, it's been lovely to see literally what you've put together. I'll thank Tokia and everyone else for your words today. I'm just going to talk just for talking. I'm going to tell you about my brand in terms of how I fashion myself. I've been working on the ground on impact, literally with my boots in the mud in the jungle for over 20 years. And when I think about my economics and how I'm going to get clothing, my first stop is always Goodwill. I don't know if everyone on this call knows what Goodwill is, but I take pride when I go to Goodwill. I start and try to clothe myself as cheaply as possible, and then I work the ladder up. So that's my that's my definition for myself of Fred. Now, I'm just sharing who I am. Now, if you want to do a clothing line with mud from the jungle, which can be spread out over your clothes, let's definitely talk. I can definitely bring you mud from the jungle and bring conservation with it, right? And I'll just throw one other thing on the table. My mother, I was actually born in Japan. And my mother,
cool.
she worked for many years. She had an art gallery in Tokyo, and she worked directly with the print artists in Japan, the contemporary prints. So my mother has a beautiful collection of contemporary Japanese prints. So if there's any more work on the imagery you want to do with Japanese art, definitely I can put you in touch with my mother. So I'm just throwing
That's
those
always nice.
ideas on the table. If you want to do jungle mud, we can do jungle mud. If you want to do Japanese contemporary, we can talk too. If you want to go to Goodwill, we can go to Goodwill.
Cool.
Yes, Garrett.
Thank you, Garrett. You're based in the Netherlands, right?
No,
I'm right on the equator, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
you're
sometimes,
Dutch. You're half Dutch.
I don't get enough oxygen here in my brain because we're at very high altitude. So maybe that's why I give you these crazy ideas.
Sounds
You
cool,
think
man.
you think he's half Dutch, Rob, because of his last name? Where are you getting that?
No,
Oh, yeah,
because
good
of
question.
his accent.
Oh, his
My
accent.
accent. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll set up another call for that conversation.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I
I'm
love
curious.
this
Thank you, Rob.
connection, Garrett.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great. Anyone else wants to share or any questions?
I'm holding my breath here.
Yeah,
I'm just
you're
not.
holding your breath. So that's good. That's good.
I'm letting other
Hold it,
people
hold
go.
I love the self-reflection here, Tokya. That's great.
Rachna, do you have anything? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my mind is just working on what you all are talking about, and I was, thinking of how did Rob think about the first aspect of making the world a bit more cheerful.
Yeah.
First, I love that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I was just reflecting on, the reason I'm just on my founding journey, so I'm just working on my startup, and I'm thinking of the reason to exist for me as a person and for my startup as well, so that it lives beyond me. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for your talk.
You're welcome. I'm curious about you guys, but it has been me talking all the time. Sorry about that.
Now,
Well,
this
you're
is all
inspiring. You're inspiring us to think
Yeah.
about things in different ways. Meaning, Rachna, existence. What's the point, right? We're talking philosophically and spiritually,
Yeah.
and we talked about creativity. And it started this talk with Rob with what the meaning was behind his not following a passion of music, but also having to branch out, and what was the meaning he was going to make it in. So it all ties up, right, with what is value, what is meaning, and what is creativity, and what is the reason for existence. And so if we're existing to be able to create, we have to create from the heart. We have to create from something that has meaning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And in a way, business and
That's the most
extension of
sustainable.
ourselves. Yeah. So we have to touch base with our heart.
Right.
And
Right.
then tell the story. And then what Rob has showed is that essence then spreads. So he's just spread,
Yeah.
right?
does.
That essence of creativity.
Yeah.
And it can be applied to a bottle cap. It's not a bottle cap anymore.
No.
It's something else. And that
Yep.
spreads. And then somebody else says, hey, I've got some boots in the mud in Ecuador because I don't like seasons, so I stick in the Ecuador. And then you got meaning all of a sudden from mud.
Yeah.
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 Love it.
So what is
Thank
it?
you,
What is it
Tokyo.
to us? What is it meaning to the musician? What is it meaning to the person with the husband that's dying? What is it? Well, all those stories that we heard, right? Or all these different meanings that somehow get connected back to a brand
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
because the brand is meaning
Uh,
and positivity, I think, right? And
Yeah.
so we go out from this meeting. For me, I know I have meaning in what I do, and I just think about that though as an essence. Like, what is the essence that we're spreading in our work? What is the essence that we're spreading in our being?
Yeah.
And we need to connect to our heart and to value, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pulling out of this.
Thanks. Thank you, Tokyo. And I think that's so true. And you did such an amazing job here, Rob, to inspire in how to do that. To me, at least, and I think to many others, and how to replicate it on your own business. So, thank you for being with us today. And like I said, I invite you and encourage you to find each other on LinkedIn. But you shared already your profiles, I saw.
Right.
Or if you have any questions, you can always come back to me, or you can connect to Rob maybe to ask them.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great session. I love it that you all came today and shared. I hope it was igniting. And, yeah. Thank you, Rob, for being here. Thank you all for being here.
I'm curious about the 10 days lady. Who was that? Because I don't see her.
Monique.
She there or?
Yeah. Monique, you're on mute. You can find the mute button below.
Because actually, we are
It's
neighbors.
me. Yeah, just I need to step into another meeting in a minute, but this is the
All right.
10 days lady.
Hi there. Hi. We're neighbors.
You guys must have been in the same
Westfield Mall.
trade show together.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
that helped. Yeah,
You guys
Yeah.
you guys walked by each other at the trade show.
yeah, and on a retail level. But I think we
Yeah.
are based in Amsterdam, and I don't think you are right. You are based.
We are also in Amsterdam, but then in the outskirts. We are in Leinde, next to
Oh,
Schiphol,
yeah.
next to the airport.
But in
So,
the neighborhood of Just Brands. That
Yeah,
area?
these are exactly our neighbors. Yeah, we're on the roundabout. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, your neighbor.
yeah.
Almost.
Small
So
world. Yeah,
interesting. It is a small world at the end, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, okay, guys, we have to finish up. It's almost 5. I want to thank you. Actually, we will do another open circle the 1st of December on a whole different topic. Actually, it will be about EMDR. So that's a trauma tool. And we have an amazing specialist from the United States sharing the session with us. And you know why? I think I see a lot of connection between visionary, happy, joyful businesses and trauma-free people. So there is a connection there, and I'm trying to bring both into the circle, right? How can we reduce trauma, and how can we build visionary businesses? So that's what this circle is about. And yeah, I love it that you were here today sharing your story. So thank you so much. And,
Thanks for bringing us together, Barbara.
Thank you. Hope to see you again
Thank you,
soon.
everyone.
Thanks for your feedback, guys.
Thank
you very much.
Fantastic.
If
Thank
you have
you,
any
Rob.
ideas,
Bye-bye.
if you have any ideas or recommendations, or I mean, we're learning every day. It's not that we think we know it all. Definitely, we don't know it all. And if there's any recommendations or ideas that you have, please shoot them towards me. I'm really curious what you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to have a conversation, Rob.
Okay, and what I can do, I can put this in the, I don't see the, where's the share button? I can give you my brand profile, like what I just showed you in a small way. Here you
On the
go.
bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a box. Yeah.
Yeah, got him. This is our brand book, so you can look it up if you like, or you can connect through LinkedIn, and yeah, hook up and let's see where we
Nice.
can where we can take things.
Amazing.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you
Thanks
very
a
much.
lot. Thanks for your time.
listening. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.